Hey everyone, Jake and Tevis here with Ticket Price Podcast. Just jumping in to let you know we're on Patreon. We finally did it. It took us longer than we thought. We're not very smart. But if you enjoy the show, check us out. $3 subscription cost. Can't beat that. With it, you're going to get early access to our episodes. You're going to get bonus content, as well as our community forum. Laugh, joke about the show, tell us how bad we are, share your favorite moments, but most importantly, give us recommendations for movies you want to hear us talk about. If we like it, we're going to do your movie. We're going to give you a shout out during the show as a thank you for giving us the idea. Thank you all for listening. Ticket Price Podcast at Patreon. Check us out. Squeak your chair louder.
See if it picks that up.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whenever it is you're tuning in. Welcome to Ticket Price and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Turkey Day.
Gobble, gobble, mother. No. I don't even know what that's from.
I don't either.
Unless I made it up. I don't know.
Probably.
Well, anyway, this is Ticket Price. Thank you all for tuning in. I am your co-host, Jake. And with me, as always, the magnanimous co-host and the only man who thinks turkey can fulfill all 3 meals a day. Tevis at Master Control.
It can.
Can it?
It can. I thought you were going to say all of your
orifices.
I thought you were going to say all of your earthly needs.
Oh,
I'm like
orifices.
I don't even know what I was going to say next.
Was it orifice?
It probably rhymed with orifices.
Wait, I will give you $100 if you can give me one rhyming word.
Orifices.
Can we get that on a t-shirt? Rhymes with orifice? I would wear that shirt. Rhymes with orifice.
Oh.
What were we talking about? I'm lightheaded now. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know where I am. So happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I hope, this will come out the day after. Is that correct?
Yes.
We do Fridays. So I hope you all had a fantastic Thanksgiving. I hope you got to see your friends and family. And it was all a much better experience than the characters of the movie we're doing, to be honest. We are looking at planes, trains, and automobiles.
I'm kind of picky about what I eat.
Some coffee.
No.
Milk?
No.
Soda?
No.
Some tea?
No.
Lifesavers?
No.
Slurpee?
Sir.
The 1987 Thanksgiving classic.
Thanksgiving classic, yeah.
Written and directed by John Hughes, which I had no idea.
Oh, yeah. John Hughes is awesome. Or was awesome. He's not awesome anymore.
True, but I don't know of anyone else, at least none that I can think of, that had such a moment in their run as, director, writer, whatever, where it was just hit after hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. There was a time when John Hughes was he was solid gold and untouchable.
Oh, yeah. It's no matter what he touched, it was the best thing.
Yeah, because Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Home Alone 1 and 2, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I'm sorry.
Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck.
Yeah. I can't think of them all off the top of my head, but it was just banger after banger.
There for a little bit, every time he put pen to paper to write a screenplay and then ultimately direct and all that, he was just printing money.
I think the only thing that stopped him was death.
Wow, that got dark. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. Yeah. We're getting dark.
This is Black Friday, bitches.
Welcome to the Black Friday edition. We're talking about turkey orifices and dead motherfuckers in here. Yeah. We're going to get metal. I'm dizzy again. Plane, Trains, Automobiles, starring Steve Martin and John Candy. Now, I typically only write 2 names for starring. Sometimes I do more if I feel it's worthwhile. Sometimes I don't do more and I should. No, this movie has two characters.
Yeah,
It has Steve Martin and John
and
Candy.
that's all we need.
Yeah, I'm actually correct in only really crediting two people for once. Okay, are you ready for this? Ratings.
Go ahead.
This actually, because we do IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes.
Right.
This has one of the biggest gaps between the two.
Has a huge orifice.
There's a gaping orifice between these ratings.
Okay.
Which one you want first?
Well, let's do Rotten Tomato.
Rotten Tomatoes, 92%.
Wow.
92. That seems really high. Jurassic Park got a 91. What are some others that were just straight bangers? The original Halloween got a 96. So 4 points below Halloween, 1 point above Jurassic Park. And you know what, as I'm looking back at my notes, this isn't even the right episode, but Halloween is not better than Jurassic Park. Fight me.
Oh, no, not at all. Nowhere near.
You know what? Last week I promised everyone I would still talk about Jurassic Park, and I will still talk about Jurassic. You know what? F planes, trains, automobile, no one cares. We're doing Jurassic Park Part 2. So where we left off, Laura Dern had just entered the cafeteria.
That's good ice cream.
Spared no expense. So Rotten Tomatoes 92. IMDb. Any guesses?
60s?
Better than that.
Okay.
7.6.
Oh, that's. I totally missed.
Well, yeah, but I understood the percentages, so it got a 76%. 7.6 out of 10 versus the Rotten Tomatoes 92. It's not been all too often we've seen gaps this big in the ratings.
Did you do any reviews? The Ebert review?
Oh, I got reviews.
I know.
Hold on, I'm looking at I'm trying to see what other movies we've done that have similar gaps. But honestly,
I don't think they're that big.
they're all pretty close. Last Voyage of Demeter had about a 12 to 18 gap. The Rob Zombie Halloween, I think, is our biggest gap in ratings. IMDb gave it a 6, Rotten Tomatoes 28. Which, as we discussed in our Showdown episode, if you didn't see our Halloween special, where we pitted the original Halloween versus its remake, and only one Michael Myers can come out as the winner, give that a shot. Give that a listen. It's a longer one, but it was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to our next Showdown episode.
I know. I'm anxious to see which ones we can pull out of the hat, so to speak.
So normally I do budget and awards. Do you want me to go straight into reviews?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay.
Do normal.
So 7.6 IMDb, 92 Rotten Tomatoes. Budget estimated $15 million. Worldwide gross 49.5. So honestly, looking at what it cost to make and how much it brought in, and for honestly, if you think about the kind of movie it is, because then I kind of put it right there with like Grumpy Old Men, and its rating, well, other than it's Rotten Tomatoes rating, but its ratings and its budget and its worldwide gross very similar.
Yeah, plus it's an R-rated movie, so.
Well, it's R-rated because of one very specific scene. That is the only reason to watch this movie, also.
You shut your whore mouth.
This movie only got one nomination. And it was for John Candy for Funniest Actor in a lead role.
Okay.
Normally I don't write it out, but it was only one nomination, and it was for Mr. Candy, so I thought I would expand on it. Reviews. Our buddy Ebert, 4 stars.
Sick.
Higher than Jurassic Park.
Well, yeah, it's just because he didn't understand the complex characters.
I will fight you. Because he didn't. He didn't.
No.
None of them did. I will fight you. No, okay. Ebert, perfectly cast, soundly constructed, and all else flows naturally. The next one. We're gonna get into the weeds a little bit with this one. So
Is this Rolling Stone?
It is Rolling Stones magazine.
I can tell by the look on your face. 'Cause I know you have a monthly subscription
Oh, yes.
to Rolling Stone.
So I can wipe my ass on a consistent basis. If you're a fan of the show, you know that I hate Rolling Stones magazine, and I hate everyone that writes for Rolling Stones magazine. If you're new to the show, I hate Rolling Stones magazine. And that sound you're hearing is not Richard Kiley's voice, it's Tevis drinking a soda. So when that comes through, everyone will know what it is. Please do it closer to your microphone, you animal. No, so the biggest like snippet I could get from Rolling Stones' thing. You doing okay, boss?
You were saying?
The best little snippet that I got was, this is the ultimate Thanksgiving film. This article is fairly lengthy and draws all the comparisons between Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and the literary classic Dante's Inferno,
What?
saying that Neil is the embodiment of Dante, while Del is Virgil, guiding him through the circles of hell. And it goes on for a while with this comparison of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles to Dante's Inferno. And I cannot express how much I hate this masturbatory article that the schmuck wrote, because he was just like, such a good ride. Look at these comparisons. Man. As he's just jerking off on his keyboard.
That is a reach. That is a hard reach.
Del and Neil are the modern day, or excuse me, are the 87 era Virgil and Dante. Them trying to get home on Thanksgiving is the equivalent of being guided through the 9 circles of hell. Clearly, the comparisons are so obvious, you Neanderthal. Look at it. Look at it.
Well, now that I look at my notes,
Yes.
I see the comparison.
Actually, all the words on my page have morphed into some sort of pentagram, and I don't know why.
It just says Dante over and over and over again. Jesus, that's a hard reach.
So when I found this, because I don't typically do Rolling Stones magazine often because I hate them, but I saw this and I found it to be such a ridiculous article. I'm like, what is this even going on? I had to include it just so we could bag on it during the show. I had to include it because it's so ridiculous.
Somebody just graduated and got their first job as a writer.
Oh, 100%.
And they're like, oh, yeah, well, I wrote a thesis about
Dante's
Inferno. I'll just break that out real quick.
Yeah.
What's the first movie that I can use this on? No.
All right. So
Rolling
yeah,
Stone.
I had to because I hate this magazine.
I'm going to bring that up periodically.
Now to our sponsor, Rolling Stones magazine.
We love this magazine so much.
Thank you for the sponsorship and all the
Yes.
great content you
Oh my
provided
gosh,
for so
yes.
many years about Dante's Inferno, you ass. All right. What's your Actually, may I start with history?
You start with your history.
I have no history with this movie.
I am so sad for you.
I knew it was a movie. Like I recognized the name, and I knew it had Steve Martin and John Candy. End of sequence. That's all I got.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. My history with this movie. My mom hated Steve Martin so much because of The Jerk, The Man with Two Brains, his stand-up.
She's right.
And then I think I've told this story before where when I was younger, my parents would periodically go to the video store and rent VHS. Yes, VHS.
would go to the video store and rent.
Yeah.
You
I
can
mean,
point
yeah.
you can point out a lot of things in that
That
statement
is
that makes
true.
you old.
That is true. And my dad came home with this movie. And my mom was like, "Oh my God, it's got Steve Martin in it." We sat down, watched this movie, had popcorn, soda, the whole spiel. And this movie made my mom a Steve Martin fan. I was never really one way or the other on Steve Martin,
Mhm.
but after watching this movie, this is my favorite Steve Martin movie. And possibly John Candy, maybe John Candy as well. But every once in a while, every few, maybe 3 years or whatever, I'll throw it on and just enjoy it. I did show this to my 10-year-old, not thinking about the R-rated scene.
He has heard you say the exact same thing anytime you had to work on your car, if there was some kind of do-it-yourself project around the house.
Yeah, and she's smart enough. She knows that she can use more better words. I was going to say more creative words, but then I bailed.
No, so then you stuck with more better words.
Yeah, well, I said more. I was going to say more creative, and then I was like, I'll just bail.
Right, so your official statement is she can use more better words.
Yeah, she can be unlike her father and use more better words.
Her words are more better.
Much more better. She uses the much more bestest words.
Did she use the bestest
The
words?
bestest words. So yeah, every once in a while I'll break it out and enjoy it, and I was excited to do it for the Thanksgiving episode.
Which I will give you that, because you know what? This movie stands in a very small crowd of Thanksgiving movies.
I can't think of another one.
I think there's some really terrible horror ones, but there
Oh.
aren't any that are actually like, no, this movie is centered, like genuinely centered around Thanksgiving as a holiday.
The only other ones that come to mind are it's possibly like a family drama that somehow stars Sarah Jessica Parker. And I remember watching a few of those, and I can't remember. They were set in the wintertime. I don't remember if it was Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever, but no, I don't count those.
So, okay, I do have a question.
Sure.
Did your mom wasn't a fan of Steve Martin?
No, not
Did
at
she
all.
like John Candy?
She did.
Is that why the movie was rented? Like, like if she didn't like Steve Martin, like what? I guess if you even
why'd
know,
my father do it?
yeah, why did you guys come home with it?
Well,
I'm
my
just
dad
curious.
did.
Yeah.
So my dad was like, "Oh, more than likely." My dad was like, "Oh, we can't. Your mom hates Steve Martin. Let's get it."
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. So are you? I might let you take the lead. I did so much talking last week in Jurassic Park and my character breakdowns. I might let you take the lead on this one, because I don't have a ton of notes. I don't have a lot of opinion on this movie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I might let you just son, take the wheel. I'll you can sit in my lap.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Well, no, those are the episodes where I get real, like Avatar, where I get real worked up and everyone goes, "Oh God, there's no stopping him now."
Yeah, I've listened to a few of those.
Yeah, when I'm trying really for our audience's sake, I'm trying really hard to like keep the emotions reined in and not get so riled up about things to where I lose control and burn the show down. I'm trying really hard not to do that anymore.
So I don't want to go scene by scene,
Thank God.
but I'm gonna go scene by scene.
Okay. I'm with you. I got my notes. I just watched it. I'm ready.
So the movie opens. We see Steve Martin looking at his watch,
hmm
and then he pulls out his plane ticket, and we know his flight is coming up. He's got to get to the airport.
Okay, now, if I may, I would like you to describe the way the film is edited to tell us how we know when his plane leaves.
Oh, that little dark.
The whole screen darkens, except for the highlighted rectangle that says departure time 6 p.m. Like we're all a bunch of idiots.
I've never seen that before then or after then. I've never seen anybody ever do that again.
It's not great.
No.
Maybe you disagree. I don't.
No, I don't disagree at all. I rewatching it for this, I seen that and I was like, okay, well, I guess that's a good way it could, but there's no really other information on that ticket
Except departure time.
except departure time. So I'm like, okay,
Well,
that's
thank God the whole screen dimmed except for a rectangle that got highlighted.
yeah. It's a little hand holding.
Yeah. Yeah, what the hell, John Hughes? I'm kidding.
But he's in this meeting and the guy is just pondering over these 3 or 4
Are they ads?
ads for makeup or something. I can't remember.
And Steve Martin's character Neil is in
He's-
advertising,
he's in
right? So
marketing.
yeah, he's in marketing. So
Yes.
the guy's looking over, I guess, some kind of maybe an ad campaign or some marketing schemes.
And he puts them all down and he leans up and it's like, I've been in meetings before and you think they're going to end and you're all excited. Like, oh God. And then some asshole asks a question.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Stop it. So I kind of feel for him on this.
Yeah.
But the guy, the look on his face, he's about ready to say something and they're all like glued and leaning forward and like, yes, what? Please say something. And he just leans back in his chair and continues. So he decides to go ahead and try to make the 6 o'clock.
Wait a minute. Now, okay, we've jumped ahead a little bit. May I?
Yeah.
So this is an old vaudeville bit. They're expecting the boss to say something because he builds it up a number of times with his body language. He's gonna say something, then he doesn't, then he's going to, and then he doesn't. And I'm not gonna. I love old vaudeville humor. Like it's like a guilty, not even a guilty pleasure. I just love old vaudeville humor. But something about this didn't register, and I don't know what. I don't know why. But I'm watching. I'm like, I get what they're doing, but it's not working.
Really?
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm trying to like. If there's just something about it, I think because it's just showing the boss, and it's like he's gonna say something, but typically with that vaudevillian humor, each time it gets a little more over the top. Like he might say something, no. He's gonna say something, no. Oh, he's saying something, no. And so
Maybe it's because they only do it one time.
no, they did like 3.
Well, okay, I'll take that back. He does lean up, but then he's like, his mouth opens and he kind of goes for it and then back. Yeah, you're right, but it isn't over the top at all.
Right, but we don't get that.
Maybe that's why.
We don't get the build, but we also then don't get to see Steve Martin's reactions because then typically, as the person doing the bit is building in its ridiculousness, the other half of the bit, which would be Steve Martin anxiously waiting for the meeting to end so he can get to his plane, his reaction to the boss not saying something and the meeting not ending would also build like, definitely. Oh, why is this still? And then like head crashes into the table, kind of, right? It did a vaudeville joke, but it didn't do it in the vaudeville style. And I think that's where the disconnect is. You can't tell a joke in a certain style, but not be true to that style.
That's fair. I know this movie goes from humor to almost cartoonish humor about halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know
was
if
the 80s.
Yeah, but I don't know if they were purposely built up that way to make the ending be more impactful. I feel like if they would have done that vaudevillian bit, it would have right away been cartoony. And then it would have been cartoony completely from that moment on.
Feel that. I get what you're saying. But
It's
then
almost like a slow build. So,
But then why do that joke? Why do that joke in that way? I don't know. We're spending too much time on this, but no, I'm just like, I get the bit. I get what they're going for, but no.
Yeah, because after rewatching this, I paid close attention, which is something I normally don't do.
Yeah, I know. I've done the show with you.
I know.
Who's Chuck? Slap you in the face.
Nobody's ever told me who Chuck is. Anyway, so did you catch Kevin Bacon?
I was actually in my note. My first note is surprise Kevin Bacon.
I love
A wild Kevin Bacon appears.
that whole chase scene was ridiculous. It was fun. It was super fun.
Oh, that actually was fun. Yeah.
The way Steve Martin runs cracks me up every time.
Oh no, nope,
Yes.
nope,
Yes.
nope.
And then he trips over that Dell's chest. We found out later is
Yeah.
Dell's. Man, that stuntman ate it hard.
Okay, think about John Hughes movies though. When there's a stuntman that falls, John Hughes just found the most gung ho stuntman. Look at any of the Home Alone falls. They
Oh,
just found the
God.
guys that will just go for it the hardest.
Yeah. Will you fall down these stairs onto Legos? Yes, I will.
No, will you fall down these stairs on your neck and then land in Lego?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've watched, less graphic falls in like wrestling matches, like when you go back and you watch when Owen Hart botches the Steve Austin pile driver. That looks less impactful. And that paralyzed Austin and broke his neck. No, that seemed less impactful than the stuntmen in John Hughes movies.
Every once in a while on TikTok, I'll get botched wrestling moves,
Oh yeah, I love those.
and I can't do it. I can't watch them. I get
What?
too much anxiety.
You little wiener.
I've watched a couple of them, and I'm like, oh no, that hurts. That hurts me. Like, no,
Yeah.
I can't. Like one guy, I seen one guy. He did a jump off the ring apron and missed. The guy didn't catch him or something, and he lands on the stairs. I'm like, oh no, I can't.
You watch like gory splatterhouse horror movies and slashers.
Yeah, but that's fake. I know that's fake.
Oh, okay.
I just, I'm afraid I'm going to see another Owen Hart moment.
Fair. That's that's true. You were there.
Yeah, I was in Kansas City watching it.
Welcome to Black Friday,
Yeah,
folks. First week.
God, you're not wrong. Hello. Welcome to this comedy movie that we're reviewing. By the way, I was there when Owen Hart died.
Wait, once again, this is not a wrestling podcast. We've done it again.
We have. Jesus, we're just going to have to start another podcast of just wrestling.
Wrestling price.
AEW sucks.
Man, usually I'm the one who's just throwing out bombs and getting people angry. I'm glad it's you this time. I have enough hate mail built up.
So back to what we're actually talking about.
Orifices?
Orifices and death.
how your turkeys can fill them. It's a how-to show. No, okay. Wait, let me get back on track. Surprise Kevin Bacon!
Surprise Kevin Bacon. That's no better Kevin Bacon.
Watch Kevin Bacon appears.
There's no better Kevin Bacon than a surprise Kevin Bacon.
Nothing better than waking up in the morning to that fresh smell of cooked Kevin Bacon. You know what? I hate that joke. It was my own joke and I hate it.
Can we take a moment and just break out your I hate this joke t-shirts?
How dare you?
Boo this man.
Wait, I've clearly given you too much control and you're now using my bits against me. I don't like this. That's it. My show, I'm taking back. Oh, you know what? You were talking about Steve Martin's run. I have a note here. Wait, hold on. I'll let everyone finish booing me for that terrible joke. Fur pocket. No, I wrote here, Steve Martin runs like Richard Simmons. He's just running like, I'm a pony, I'm a pony, I'm a pony. Feel it, stretch it, girls. I'm like, why is he running like that?
It's so funny.
No, it's
so funny.
Yeah, but it's not like intentionally funny. It's like, why does he run like Richard Simmons on a treadmill funny?
Carrying his briefcase.
Yeah, he runs like Richard Simmons.
That's so funny.
For those of you who don't know who Richard Simmons is, look it up. I'm not your mother.
Yeah, you have the Google.
You got the Google machine. Clickety clack.
So Neil Page, Steve Martin's character, needs a cab. He's got to get a taxi. The lawyer, what?
I have trouble with his name as Neil Page because I always instinctively want to say Neil Peart.
Why?
Because I love Rush, and Neil Peart is the drummer and songwriter for Rush, and his
Well,
name is Neil Peart.
there's the main problem right there. You like Rush.
I will kill you. Boo this man! Boo this man! This Rush hating fool!
Rush is terrible.
I swear to God. One of us is not going to survive this episode, and it's a toss-up of... Given that I'm the Neil of our relationship and you're the Del, I know which one of us isn't going to make it. But no, every time I'm like, his name's Neil Peart. No, it's Neil Page. No, what is his name? Neil Page.
Neil Page.
Page.
So he's trying to catch a taxi. The lawyer who stands on the corner of the road and is like, cab, right then, as soon as he said those two words, like, that guy's an asshole.
All he needed was like a piece of gum or an apple he could chew on, or
Yeah. He says, cab. I'm like, I hate that guy.
what was it? I'll give you $10 for that cab. I want 50. Well, I'm not gonna pay you 50. All right, I'll give you 50. Well, good. Now I want 75. Well,
Yeah.
what makes you think I'll give you 75? Because any man that'll give $50 for a cab will give $75 for a cab.
Yeah. He says, happy holidays.
Yeah.
He's like, this will help. But no, Del jumps in the cab and speeds off before he can get in. And when he turns and he looks into the street and he sees the puddle, did you catch the shower curtain ring in the actual puddle?
No, I missed that.
Yeah.
I was looking at I saw the trunk and like the cab and the puddle, but at the time, because I didn't know the significance of the shower curtain ring, I missed that.
Yeah. That's honestly, this is the first time I've caught it because I was paying attention.
They're in New York. I just thought it was trash.
Yeah. But but my favorite part of that is he takes off running after the cab. And I immediately,
Like Richard Simmons.
like Richard Simmons, and I assume that the lawyer was immediately able to hail another one, with no problems.
Okay, real talk. If we had seen Steve Martin running after the first cab, and then in the background, the guy just immediately hail another cab, that would have been comedy gold.
I know
That would have been
I
comedy
was looking
gold.
for it in the background because you do see the guy raise his arm. But I'm like, did another cab pull over? Please tell me another cab
If
pulled
another
over.
cab had just immediately pulled over, that would have been hilarious.
It didn't.
Yeah, because this movie's not funny.
Yeah. Oh, you roasted.
I roasted what?
You roasted the Dante's Inferno that is this movie.
They're so similar. You know what my next note is after this? And maybe I'm jumping ahead. I don't super remember. Surprise, Ben Stein! A wild Ben Stein appears.
Oh, yeah, no, you're not far. I mean, that's right there at
I was gonna say that's next, right?
the airport.
You thought surprise Kevin Bacon. Boom! Surprise Ben Stein.
Yeah, I love it. He has got driest fucking voice.
That's why John Hughes kept casting him for things.
I know it, and it's amazing. I love it. He's so funny.
That's the thing. If you only know Ben Stein from like Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and whatever, like, no, actually, he actually genuinely is. Ben Stein was very animated and had a really good sense of humor.
Isn't he like super smart?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. 'Cause
Yeah.
I thought there was a show.
Win Ben Stein's money.
Yes.
It was, it was great.
And
it was the
had
best.
to answer trivia questions.
Yeah, it
and
was a
beat
trivia
him?
show, but you were actively playing against Ben Stein, who didn't know or presumably didn't know the questions. And so you were just in a trivia contest with Ben Stein, and he was really good.
Okay, I thought I was just misremembering something, but
Yeah, Win Ben Stein's Money was awesome. I loved that show. Shout out to Ben Stein and Win Ben Stein's Money. Topical.
Neil is sitting in the airport waiting for the canceled flight, or delayed flight, rather. And he sees John Candy sitting across from him. And he's reading that book.
Wait. Which book is John Candy reading? I believe it's in your limited library upstairs.
It is. It's The Canadian Mounted. And it's got a picture of this woman on all fours just looking at the camera.
She's in like a red uni, right? Or something like that.
Yes. And it's a well-worn book.
Oh, yeah.
You could tell he's...
It's not his first read-through.
No. Probably his first read-through clothed.
No. Okay, now we really get to see... We see him real briefly, John Candy, in the cab. But now we really get to see John Candy. The perm is criminal. The mustache is criminal. And the perm and mustache together is awful, and I hate it. It's the worst.
I think it's stylish.
Shave your beard.
No.
Leave only the stash. I would ask you to perm, but you are follically challenged.
I can grow hair. I just choose not to.
You are taller than your hair. I'm trying to think of some of the other age-old excuses.
I force my body to not grow hair. through sheer will.
Sheer force of will. No, shaved everything but the mustache.
No.
Actually, hold on.
No.
Look at me. Move your mic for a second. You would look like a porn star. You would legitimately look like a porn star with just the mustache.
Look like Ron Jeremy.
You know what? I bet your lady friends would be really into it.
Oh, I'm sure they would.
Hey, mustaches are back in style
Yeah.
for some god awful reason.
Travis Kelce.
The memes about how. Never mind. We're not talking about Travis Kelce, but I do. Never mind. It's not what we're talking about. And it doesn't matter how trashy I find it all to be.
Yeah, we can't be a movie wrestling podcast, a movie wrestling football podcast. We can't do that.
Or a movie wrestling TMZ? What do you.
That would be, yeah, I guess that would be the direction we would be going. So, yeah, no, we can't be a movie wrestling TMZ podcast.
His current appearance with his active haircut and the mustache, I would be surprised to find out that he didn't beat his wife. Welcome to Black Friday, motherfucker! Now we can add domestic violence and murder to our jokes today. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And God bless us, everyone.
I wonder if he bought that book while he was married.
I bet they read it together. Hot.
Oh,
I bet they reenacted scenes. Oh yeah.
I don't like the way where this is going.
Well then, please, you're driving this.
Oh God, I regret every decision I've made in my life.
Well, yeah, but that had nothing to do with this podcast.
To this point.
I was going to say, you regretting all your decisions has nothing to do with this show. That was long before we decided to do this.
I regret a lot of things in my life. Where are we at?
John Candy, Canadian Mountains. I'm glad you took a big drink as I said that.
Man, that almost ended up on the floor. Okay, so I don't want to do scene by scene, but their plane gets delayed.
Delayed because there was a huge storm.
Yeah, and then it eventually gets canceled.
And it can't land in Chicago, so it lands in Wichita.
Dell,
Played by John Candy.
Gets a hotel. What was the name of it? The Braidwood Inn is what it was.
Now, is this the one that they took the
exactly
the cab?
Doobie's Taxiola.
Doobie's Taxiola.
Do you know who that guy is? You know who Doobie was?
I recognized him, but
it was Larry Hankin. Was
okay.
his name. He was Mr. Heckles from Friends.
Oh yeah. We actually it was funny because he just appeared in an episode of Home Improvement. My wife and I were watching too.
Oh really?
Yeah,
that's cool.
Mr. Heckles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this version of Mr. Heckles.
I bet that's actually Mr. Heckles. It's Doobie Heckles.
He retired from cabbie.
Retired and moved to New York and lived underneath these annoying kids.
You know what? I did so good with the previous episode about not swearing, and now it's just all out the window on this very dark crime.
It's an R-rated movie. We're good.
Yeah, there are no kids listening.
Yeah,
because there's no one listening.
I went to Wichita one time in my life. I didn't see the Taxiola. I'm a little pissed.
Yeah, Wichita.
Jesus.
What up? Where's Doobie's Taxiola?
Have you ever been to Wichita?
No, but I've been in Kansas, and
Oh,
you see 1 square foot of Kansas, you've seen it
it's
all.
so spread out. It's terrible.
It's just flat and empty.
Flat and empty, like my soul.
I mean, I get where you were going there, but no.
Yeah.
Boo this man.
Let me get back to the dark humor. So they go into the Braidwood Inn, and Gus introduces Neil to, or Dell introduces Gus to Neil, and he immediately calls him Nick. And I could not be more happy because my name, nobody ever gets it right when I meet them the first time. So to have a name like Neil, and he's like, nice to meet you, Nick. And he's like, nice to meet you. And he doesn't correct him. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, you just go
that
with
works. Just go with
it.
it.
Thank you, Travis.
Yeah, no problem. Fuck.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
So they get up to the room and they find out it's one
bed.
and he's like, wait, share. And then he goes in and he sees it's one bed, and that music. And they're both like, oh, this is gonna be bad.
Yeah, well, why do they have to share?
Because it's the last room in the complex.
No, I mean, like, one of you sleep in the chair, you're grown men, or sleep on the floor. It's not that big a deal.
Because it wouldn't be as funny.
I guess.
The shower scene. I got to talk about the shower scene.
Okay.
When he's washing his face, and then the water cuts off.
Yeah.
And he opens his eyes, and that little sound effect goes ping.
Yeah.
We've all been there. Have you never been there?
Well, I mean,
In the bathroom, in the shower with Steve Martin.
and his amazingly hairy body.
God. Is it him or Robin Williams has the hairiest body?
Oh, Robin Williams is way hairier than Steve Martin, or was, because, Robin Williams is super dead. Welcome to Black Friday, everyone. Robin Williams died from suicide.
Oh,
He killed
my
himself.
God.
Welcome to Black. Oh my God! What is wrong with this? What's wrong with us? We're deeply disturbed individuals. I like how he tried so hard to regain composure and then just lost it. No, Robin Williams is hairier than Steve Martin, but Steve Martin is still a very hairy man.
is a
Wait,
very
why is
hairy-
his body hair jet black, but the hair on his head is still just shock white?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know. That's something we'll have to research.
Please research
I will. I'll
Steve
research
Martin's
it.
hair.
I'll research it for the next pod.
We'll do a bonus episode on Patreon. Famous actors and their body hair. Steve Martin's curtains match his carpet. The answer apparently is no.
Oh,
We'll ask Martin Short. He'll know.
does the curtains match the drapes? Or the carpet match the drapes?
Yeah.
Oh,
This is what happens when I let you drive. I'm just along for the ride. I love it.
so in the shower scene, he gets his shower done, and then he opens the curtain, and it's a freaking mess.
Yeah, like when did that even happen?
And that's what I mean. It's funny. It is funny, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, wait a minute. So did you obviously got in the shower knowing that it was a mess,
Because he showered second.
right?
Okay.
Or I don't know, did John Candy come in there and like take all the towels and use them for some god awful reason? I don't know. It doesn't make sense, but it's funny.
But see, that's to me, I'm like, I love good nonsensical humor, but this was actually, for me, I'm like, but this is like, it's not so far out that it's funny, but it's so impractical that it just leaves me going, how is he surprised by any of this? He would have seen it going in,
True.
or he would have heard John Candy doing it while he was in the shower, or I don't know. It didn't work for me. Although him trying to dry off with the wash rag, that was funny.
That was funny.
Now that we've all been to the hotel and you go, oh wrap them out of towels.
Yeah.
And I'm so socially awkward. It's like, oh, I could call and ask for more. Or I could just dry off with this, wash rag. I guess I'm doing that because I'm not calling anybody.
Just go to the bed all wet. Just lay in bed and flop around.
Yeah, but then John Candy got all upset.
This is off the this is off the rails.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Oh,
Okay, but also, and then he goes out into the room, and the room is the same as the bathroom, just absolutely trashed. Dell is smoking and drinking beers in the bed. He's got the vibrating, the massage thing going, so the whole bed's shaking. Beer spills all over Steve Martin's side of the bed. Dell is an asshole. Everyone's like, no, Dell's so likable. No, Dell sucks. Had Neil smothered Dell to death with a pillow, I'd have understood.
I thought he was going to
A couple times.
when he's in bed and he's doing the shave and a haircut routine with his throat and
Oh,
clearing
yeah.
his nose.
This movie has a lot of mucus.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess mucus was funny in the 80s. I'm not sure.
Man, the 80s was a terrible time.
It was a weird time. It was a weird time.
What a terrible time.
But I love when they finally get to sleep and then the next morning,
The cuddling.
well, you hear the pigs and you see the pigs in the pig pen
Okay.
first and you hear the squealing.
Yeah.
And then you cut to them in bed. It cuts to his nightstand.
Yeah.
And it's just destroyed. There's chiclets everywhere and
Beer cans.
Jacks.
Cracker
and
Jacks.
Cracker Jacks are on Dell's clothes as he's in bed. But when I was rewatching this, knowing what I know about the ending, he always takes his wife's picture with him everywhere he goes.
Right.
Who does that other than somebody who's lost someone?
Oh, yeah. At the time, I guess, spoilers, Dell's wife is...
Dell's wife is dead.
Friday, everybody. Dell's wife is super dead, and he carries her picture around. But at the time, you're like, why does he have a full 8x10 of his wife, a framed 8x10 of his wife in his suitcase? He must really love her and is very attached, and it's super weird.
Yeah. And there's only a few moments that I caught that hint at this fact that she is no longer.
Are they all the hints that Steve Martin has a really forced and hammy epiphany of when he's on the train headed home?
Well, yeah, they kind of rehash it.
Because he's like, oh, and then it just replays a bunch of moments from the movie. I'm like, what the hell is this? But that's towards the end. We're not there yet, unfortunately.
So yeah, they're cuddling in bed.
Yeah.
It says, why did you kiss my ear?
Why are you holding my hand?
Where's your other hand?
Between these two pillows.
Those aren't pillows. And they jump up. Oh my God. That's
okay.
So good.
The ear kissing is way worse than the hand holding.
He might have been in and out of sleep.
I don't know what that has to do with
Maybe
anything.
he thought he was next to his wife.
Well, he wasn't kissing Neil's ear.
Yeah.
That's what he did, like, to wake his wife. Just, it was cute. It wasn't like a sexual kind of kiss. But no, it was just like this cute, like, he clearly thought he was in bed with his wife, right? But no, I'm saying, though, if you had to pick which side to be on, and he's like, why did you kiss my ear? Why are you holding my hand? Shut up, John Candy. The ear kissing is way worse than the hand holding.
Is it worse to be the kisser or the kissee?
Kissy.
Think so?
It's always worse to be the kissy. Stand by that.
I'll let you stand by that. So they've decided
Coward.
They decided to go to the train station, take a train.
Right. So no planes are gonna, like, all planes are down. There's no way to fly to Chicago.
No. That's when we meet Gus's son.
Wait. Okay, what was his? For some reason I thought Gus was the son.
No, Gus was the guy at the Braidwood Inn.
Right.
His son was Owen.
Owen.
Yes.
Like Owen Hart.
Who's dead.
Man, we're going to hell
we
for
are
this
going to hell.
episode.
But we are in the 9 stages.
We are going
of
through the
hell.
9 circles of hell right now. Thank you, Virgil.
Yeah. So Owen, who was played by Dylan Baker. Do you know who Dylan Baker is?
No. Should I?
Yes. He played Dr. Kirk Connors in Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2.
Who is that?
The Lizard. He would later become the Lizard. But he didn't actually become the Lizard in those films.
No one. What lame. It's like Killer Croc in Batman. At least Killer Croc ate and killed people.
So the Lizard.
Did he?
Well, not in the movie because they never got to that. I think they were going to do that one in the 4th film, but they never did a 4th one because that was the Tobey Maguire movies.
Now, which one had the really awkward dancing?
3.
Okay.
That is what killed the Spider-Man franchise, right?
3 or just the dancing? where it's
just
like,
the dancing.
eh,
Yeah, just the dancing.
eh. And I did this sometimes.
But we don't talk.
We don't talk
that.
about this.
So Owen does the nastiest. He's just the grossest person. That nose thing that he does, with it when he pulls the front of his hat,
And his mouth could not be more open when it. And I'm like, what? This movie has so much mucus.
yes, and he spits his chew out. He wipes his
mouth.
wipes his mouth with his hand, and then shakes Neil's hand with it. Oh my god, it's so good.
Okay, when they go to load Dell's trunk, he's like, hey, you get out of there and make yourself useful. He's yelling at his wife, who real talk looks underage. She may be small, but she real tough. Our boy came out sideways. She didn't scream or nothing. Like, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, you're a real trooper.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, I do like this movie, but once they get on the train, until they get to the car, just like right before the
R rating.
the R rating tirade, it kind of loses me a little bit.
I wish I had printed out that air quotes monologue so I could recite it, because I would. I'm known for dropping the occasional F-bomb.
No way.
Fucking end you.
You drop it like Owen Hart.
Oh my gosh. This is like the 4th time we tried, and that was the worst one yet. Enjoy hell.
The 9 stages.
9 circles. Read the book.
No, I don't read the books. No.
Animal. Go on.
What were you saying?
No, you were saying.
No, you were talking about the F tirade.
Oh no, I just wish I had the printout of it so I could read it. Because I would.
Yeah, so from the moment they get in the car, in the back of the truck rather, and to the train station, from that moment until they get in the car, or the F-word tirade, this movie kind of loses me a little bit.
It gets real slow.
It does get real slow. The bus ride, Dell conning all these people with selling them shower curtain rings as earrings.
Okay, so while they were staying at that real crappy motel, they get robbed.
They do. They get robbed.
So they don't have any money. They realize they've been robbed. So Dell starts selling shower curtain rings as earrings to teenage girls to make money.
Not just teenage girls, but because there's a couple of older women that buy them.
Are there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And these are autographed Daryl Strawberry earrings.
It's outlandish.
Who the shit wants a Daryl Strawberry earring?
Daryl. Daryl.
Isn't he dead?
Is Daryl Strawberry dead?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I don't know either.
Continue. Don't mind me. Not looking up if Daryl Strawberry's dead. This is where you talk, numbnuts. You're leading the show.
So
Still not talking.
So yeah, Dale is kind of an asshole by conning these people.
Dale Strawberry is currently 61 years old and is very much alive.
Oh, he is alive. Okay. Well, you can't join this pod, so because this pod's all about death, apparently.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
So during the dinner scene, Dell kind of slips up after they sell the shower curtains. Neil says that he spent a little bit too much time away from home. And Dell says, I haven't been home in years. And Neil's like, what? Really? Are you serious? And then he's like, no, it's just a figure of speech. I've been on the road so much. And then quickly changes the subject.
Now, to be fair, as someone who is prone to hyperbolic speech and sweeping generalizations, I didn't at the time. I'm like, yeah, that's a figure of speech. Like, I had no qualm with that whatsoever.
I probably wouldn't have if, because the way he explains it and then automatically goes to the next subject like super quick, it's like he doesn't want to talk about it. So there's that, the picture that he carries with her of her all the time, and when he's sitting in the car outside the hotel room later on in the film and he's talking to her. Those are the only 3 moments I really caught.
As someone who is prone to auditory hallucinations and frequently talks to himself, I didn't have any issue with that whatsoever.
Really?
Yeah. I talk to myself all the time. I am not a well person. I am I am a sick individual.
Okay. That's fair. But the part when he says, I wish you were here with me right now, he goes, well, guess that's not going to happen.
Yeah, but I've been there.
You were there with him?
No, but you were just like, man, you're talking to yourself and you're having that conversation, or you're reminiscing like, man, I wish Anna was here. But that seems unlikely, so I guess I'll do something, yeah.
Okay. I knew what they were going for.
Because you've seen the movie.
Yeah, after I rewatched it, and I was like, oh, wait.
And then you went, I'm aware of this.
Yeah, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's what he would do.
But nothing, it
Did nothing stand out?
knowing the swerve, it makes sense. But at the same time, he doesn't do anything in particular that's so outlandish that you're like, ah.
Not even the picture?
No, he's kind of an odd guy.
It's the hair, isn't it?
And the mustache. And the pornographic novel he reads in airport terminals in front of God and everyone.
That's true. Maybe nobody knew what that
Children
meant.
are running by. Oh, yeah, because the half-naked woman didn't give it away.
Half naked?
Half-naked.
So do you want to talk about the tirade?
Are we there?
Sure.
So the only funny moment in this entire movie, Dell and Neil have parted ways. My God, for like the 7th time. Like they keep like, no, we should go our own ways. Yeah, and then fate or whatever keeps bringing them together. And I'm like, guys, we got it. At a certain point, Neil, you just accept your fate and you just stick together till you get to Chicago. Right. But no, they've done this bit so many times. Not even a bit like it's funny, but they've done this thing where it's like, oh no, they've gone separate ways. Oh shit. So many times at this point. So once again, they've gone separate ways.
They break up, essentially.
Yeah. Neil is renting a car at Lambert Airport. Go St. Louis.
Oh, is that where that was?
Yeah, they're in St. Louis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay. They were in St. Louis. I just didn't know about the airport. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, I did him a shout out. That's why I did it.
Do they all say crayons?
Probably.
I'm surprised she wasn't talking about crayons.
She might have been. We don't know. Their conversation got cut short. So Steve Martin goes to rent a car. They drop him off in the lot. And lo and behold, the car that he has the key for isn't there. So he then tries to chase the bus that dropped him off, the shuttle.
Mm-hmm.
It leaves him. So now he has what was like a 3-mile hike back to the rent-a-car place at the airport where he loses his bags and he trips and falls at some point. He's just having a real bad time. His shoes are, he's
Shoes
wearing
are all
bags at some point or they're
destroyed.
all destroyed, eaten up. And so the woman working the desk for the rent-a-car agency is on the phone. It's clearly a personal phone call. Also, you're on the clock, bitch. Get off the phone. Help your customers.
Yeah, she's talking to her sister
Yeah,
or
just
something.
like, yeah, get off the phone.
Gobble gobble.
Yeah, well, that's just great. I'll talk to you too. Bye bye. Gobble gobble. Shut up. You're on the clock. Not your break. Anyway, Steve Martin. She sees Steve Martin. He's a wreck. Can I help you, sir? And he's like, well, first you can help me by wiping that fucking smile off of your fucking face. And then proceeds to go on a tirade about how he has been dicked over this whole time and wrote it down here. I wrote F-bombs, but no, he specifically says fucking. He doesn't say fuck, fucker, not motherfucker. Specifically fucking 19 times.
I want a fucking Datsun, a fucking Toyota, a fucking Buick, a fucking Mustang, 4 fucking wheels and a seat. I don't
Before
care
your
how you're.
or your fucking shuttle left me 3 fucking miles.
You left me in the middle of fucking nowhere with fucking keys to a fucking car that isn't fucking there. I had to walk across a fucking highway and a fucking runway to get back here for you to smile at my fucking face. I want a fucking car right fucking now.
Well, you're fucked.
Hey, I see your rental agreement.
I do not have my fucking rental agreement. Oh dear. Why is that? Because I fucking threw it away. Oh dear. Well, you're fucked. Funniest part. Not only is that the funniest part of the whole movie, only genuinely funny part in the whole movie
no,
is
you were
Steve Martin
wrong.
just losing his mind.
I love it when he goes to the. I don't know what the guy is doing, but he's motioning cars to come through or whatever, and he's trying to get a car. And the guy says, "Where are you trying to go?" And he goes, "I'm trying to get to Chicago." You try the planes. Faster, and you get a free meal. He's like, if I wanted a joke, I'd follow you into the bathroom and watch you take a leak. And the guy just punches him in the face.
That's how we do.
Yeah, you and your crayon loving motherfuckers.
I like how we tried to watch our line because I've received complaints. Not this one. We're just full blown. Happy Thanksgiving.
But then he almost gets ran over by Dell.
Yeah, Dell. So he gets punched in the face, falls in the street, and then Dell has to stomp his brakes to not run him over.
Squish his head like a watermelon.
I've never seen a man get picked up by his testicles before.
And
It's a good thing that cop showed up.
You have to lift up your schnutz to tie your shoes. And this is the part from here on where it gets very, very cartoony.
Oh, the car gets Tommy Boy levels of cartoony.
Yes. With where he's doing the Ray Charles, playing the Ray Charles song, and you're doing the whole
Man,
keyboard.
that went on too long.
That did go on too long.
We've talked about it before with movies that like paid for one song, and they're gonna get their one song.
Yeah.
That was this. They paid for it, and they're gonna listen. They're gonna make the audience listen to the entire
sound,
damn thing,
all 4.5 minutes,
while John Candy plays dashboard piano.
He gets his arm stuck, and he's frantically trying to get him loose, and then he turns down the exit ramp, and then sees the stop sign and freaks out and rips, and then the car spins in 360 like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And Steve Martin, who was asleep, just wakes up, just
Something
what's going on?
Yeah, what's going on?
It's so funny. It's so funny. But then they get back up on the highway, and they're going the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
And the couple in the car in the other lane are like, "Look at these assholes," and they start yelling at him,
Like, you're gonna die.
"You're going the wrong way."
And they're like, yeah, okay. And they're making like booze gestures, like, yeah, keep drinking, pal.
Yeah.
Glug glug.
And Dell's like, "Oh, they're drunk. How the hell would they know where we're going?"
And Steve Martin's like,
Yeah, how would they know? But then they split the diesels, the two semis, and that definitely the cartoon part comes back up when they see the flashes of the skeletons, and John Candy is literally the devil, and maybe that's what the guy meant with Dante's Inferno.
no,
Okay, never mind.
because John Candy's character Dell isn't the devil. He's Virgil.
Oh, that's right. That's what you did say that earlier. Okay, so yeah, the guy's reaching
He's just really proud of that literary degree he got.
very much. So yeah, the cartooniness of this really steps up and maybe goes a little over with the flashing of the skeletons. That kind of, I know the first time I watched it, I thought it was funny, but this time I'm like, okay, it's a little much. Did you think there was too much of the cartoony part of it?
Yeah, but honestly, this whole part of the movie, I was like, and yep, I get it. Good job, guys. Because then they survive that. Dell's luggage goes everywhere. They have another blow up where it's like, oh, the couple broke up again. Then Neil feels bad for calling Dell out for being a piece of shit because Dell's a piece of shit. Helps Dell get his luggage out of the street. Then we discover that the cigarette that John Candy tried to throw out the window, but it blew back into the back seat, ignites the upholstery. And now that we just had this cartoony where the car, and it's so 80s. It's so 80s. The car splitting the semis, right? It's so 80s. And then they're like, well, I mean, hey, we're almost there. It can't get any worse. Boom, car ignites on fire.
That's when we find out that his wallet was in the glove compartment. Neil's wallet was in the glove compartment. But Dell had Neil's credit card to rent the car. So they're completely screwed now. They have no money. No way of accessing any money.
Nope.
And then they have to go, so they go to the hotel.
Yeah, the car still works, by the way.
Yeah, barely works. It's squeaking along, smoking along. So when they get to the hotel, do you know who the hotel guy was?
Actually, I went, I looked at me and I went, that's the lawyer from Jurassic Park. He's much younger.
Much younger.
Well, okay, that's not even fair. He looks much younger. These movies are only 6 years apart.
That's true, yeah.
You could have told me these
93,
movies were
87.
25 years apart just by how he looked, and I'd have believed you.
Yeah, he aged hard in that 6 years.
Yeah.
Probably from working in that motel. Who knows what the hell's going on with that?
His actual job is the motel attendant.
Neil's like, I've been wearing the same underwear since Tuesday. Can you please give me a room? So what was that guy's name? What was the actor's name? Did you write that down?
Martin Ferrero.
Martin Ferrero.
Martin Ferrero. Which actually, I would like to pause you for a moment, and I would like to officially extend Mr. Ferrero the Meredith Burton Award for most appearances on the podcast. He has tied Burgess Meredith and Tony Burton at 2.
There's nobody else on that list, is there?
No.
Just those 3.
Yes.
Okay. I don't think we're going to have another Martin Ferrero film.
I hope you're wrong.
I hope I'm wrong too, honestly.
Just because you said that, I hope you're wrong.
Probably the next one we pull in the hat will be one starring him. So yeah, this is when Dell is talking to his wife while he's sitting outside in the car because he can't afford a hotel room at all.
Right.
All he has is $2 and a Casio.
His watch.
Yes. But yeah, this is where it gets really sentimental. Finds somebody he really enjoys, company that he really enjoys, and he screws it all up.
And the will they won't they couple had broken up again. And then Steve Martin sees him out sitting in the car because he can't get a room. So opens the door. He's like, you're going to freeze out there. And then they get back together again. You know the law of diminishing returns?
They've only done that, what, 3 times?
At least 3 times, and I could not care less at this point.
Well, because you had the train where they didn't break up, they just went their separate ways because they didn't have the same seats. And then
But we still got the whole long drawn out goodbye, see you later, yeah, maybe, blah blah blah. Then
in the diner.
well, the train stops, they
Yeah.
see each other, and Neil's like avoiding him. So Dell's like, oh, okay, I guess we're gonna be that way, and he goes on, and they just draw that out for so long. But that's when they get back together.
Yeah.
Then at the diner, and
Yeah.
then, yeah, I guess
Then
now,
this time, this is the 3rd time.
because at the diner, then they get back together after the F-bomb scene.
Yeah, after he gets punched in the face and then picked up by his nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, this is the 3rd time.
Law of diminishing returns. I didn't care the first time, and I really don't care by the 3rd time.
Yeah, but everything happens in 3s.
Yeah, except this happens in 4s.
Was it 4?
By the end of it is.
Oh, because yeah, at the end when
They do it a 4th fucking
on
time
the subways.
in the fucking Chicago fucking tram. And he's like, well, call you later. And then he gets on the thing and the thing and the stuff, and then he comes back and he has the epiphanies and the thing and the stuff. And I don't care.
So-
Why is this movie still going?
So I'm assuming the ending didn't hit you like it hit me.
That is probably a safe bet, but I've seen you cry at birthday parties.
Yeah, they're my own. Getting older.
Wow, I thought it was the crippling depression and the loneliness.
Yeah.
Oh, and Black Friday.
I can deal with all that.
The crushing despair.
So spoilers. I know you hate that, so I'm going to say it.
I know, but I think you're about to say something we already spoiled.
Yeah, they get to Chicago, and Neil realizes, oh wait, something doesn't quite add up with what Dell has been saying. So he goes back, and they'd split, and he goes back and he talks to him, and
Yeah, but hold on. So Neil realizes this as we get a scene of him on the tram, and we see Steve Martin looking like introspectively as he's really thinking about it. And he's doing his best to be like thoughtful looking. And that's intercut with scenes from the movie we have been watching. And he's like, oh, wait, he carries a picture of his wife. Oh, wait, he just said he hadn't been home in years. Oh, wait. And I'm like, oh, my God. Stop spoon feeding me. I've watched the movie.
yeah, it's a little bit like the highlighted triangle, or rectangle rather, at the beginning.
Yes, the highlighted triangle
Yeah.
on the boarding pass. Yeah.
To get the 3 points, you got to make sure you get a good point.
Does this movie have a point?
No, not really. So yeah, he goes in and he talks to him, and he's like, I don't have a home. Marie's been dead for 8 years. And man, every time that gets me.
Well, wait, is it that he doesn't have a home, or he just can't go back home because his wife is dead?
I think he
I think
doesn't-
he technically has a home, but he can't bring himself to go back.
in my mind, I always thought that his wife died. He can't bear to be in the house that he had with her. So he just said, hell with it. He sold everything, living off of that, whatever little money he got off of that, and then travels and cons people into buying shower curtain rings as earrings.
So you don't think he's an actual shower curtain salesman?
No, I think he's an actual shower curtain salesman, but I don't think he has an actual place
Residence?
to lay his head.
Yeah.
He just travels all the time and lives off of that. Lives out of a trunk. That's why he has a trunk.
Yeah.
Because people who travel for work, I don't think they would carry a trunk like that.
No, because normally we just use suitcases.
Yeah.
Like a normal person.
Yeah. And if you're selling shower curtain rings, then you can always just make up an order and then have them shipped to him. Is he carrying?
Or he's got samples.
That's true. That is true. Because he left one in the street in New York.
Again, that might have just been trash.
I believe it was a charcuterie.
I'm sure it was.
Probably
But-
fell out of his trunk when Neil tripped over it.
When Neil did a full header, did a half gainer over the thing. But that's when it's like, no, please come have Thanksgiving with us and meet my family and my in-laws. And they have a tearful reunion because Steve Martin kept his promise and made it home in time for Thanksgiving dinner. Joy to all.
Could you say that less joyfully?
Probably. If I make me watch this movie again, and I will.
Okay, I think we're there. What's your thoughts?
Oh wait, you're just there.
We're just gonna abandon it.
You're so bad at leading this. You've listened to me expertly do it so many times.
I really wasn't paying that much of attention.
Yeah, that sounds about right. No, I don't remember what I was gonna. Oh, you know what? Interesting little tidbit is reading like the reviews and critic thoughts and whatever. But I guess one of the big reasons, and it is said and it is believed that one of the big reasons that John Hughes wrote this, and only John Hughes can confirm or deny, so that's why I say it's believed, that the only reason he did this movie is because there, or especially at the time, there were no Thanksgiving movies. So he kind of thought that he had an automatic financial home run based off of the hot streak he was on, combined with the fact that there are no Thanksgiving movies. There's Halloween movies and there's Christmas movies, but there are no Thanksgiving movies. So his would stand apart and would become a holiday classic because there's no competition. And then he did another movie. Oh, man, what Butch?
Oh, Dutch, which was basically this.
Yeah, but everyone's like, and then he did Dutch. Except he had already done Dutch several years earlier, and he had done it better. And it was Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah, I remember watching Dutch and going, no, it doesn't work.
I had never heard of Dutch until research for this movie.
Oh, God. Al Bundy was in it. I can't think of the actor's
Ed
name.
O'Neill.
Yeah, Ed O'Neill.
I love Ed O'Neill.
He was okay as Al Bundy. I really enjoyed him as Al Bundy, but...
Did you say he was fine?
I don't even know if fine would be...
Because he was actually good.
No, as Al Bundy, he was excellent. And he's been good in, what's the...
Modern Family.
Modern Family. He's good in that.
He was fantastic in Little Giants.
Was that Rick Moranis?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Ed O'Neill and Rick Moranis are brothers, but Rick Moranis is the Rick Moranis one, and Ed O'Neill's the big jock older brother, and he's coaching the actual football team. So Rick Moranis is like, hey, what about all these other... Because his daughter wanted to be on it, but they're like, girls can't play football. And so he ends up putting together his own football team of like the misfit kids that couldn't make it on the team. And, the name...
Forever since I've seen that.
Little Giants is a classic. You go to hell. You go to hell and you die.
Is it a Thanksgiving movie?
No idea.
I mean, it's a football movie, so
it's a fall movie. Yeah, at the very least.
Okay.
Anyway.
So, your final thoughts.
Okay, honestly, I don't... It was fun to joke about how much I was just like, oh, this movie sucks. This movie doesn't suck. It's entertaining. It's a little hokey at a number of different points, and it gets a little long, a little old at a number of different points. But no, honestly, for what it is, if you like Steve Martin, if you like John Candy, you're probably gonna like this movie. If you're into this kind of 80s era of comedy, you're going to like this movie. If you like John Hughes, you're going to like this movie. It's enjoyable. I get why people like it. Am I going to watch it again? No. But if you guys listen to the show and you know me, this is just not my cup of tea. So, but is it bad? No, not by any means.
So underrated, overrated? Is it worth the ticket price?
No. But
no.
Well, don't ask the question if you don't want the answer. But no, honestly, it's hard for me to say it's overrated because I don't ever hear anyone ever talking about planes, trains, and automobiles. So I guess it's right where it belongs, forgotten in the orifices of time.
And we're back to the orifice.
Boom, at full circle, it all comes around.
This movie, I think, is underrated.
You would.
Just because you just said it. Nobody talks about it. I've always had a good time with it every single time I watched it. There are parts, like I said, that are a little long, they drag a little bit, but if you make through that, you're going to have a good time. Steve Martin and John Candy's chemistry together was spot on. They could have been. This movie is basically The Odd Couple.
Yeah.
A road trip. They could have been Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau if John Candy would have still been alive.
And Steve Martin's drapes not matching the carpet dreams. Could he be Jack Lemmon? First of all. And honestly, I have nothing against John Candy, but he's no Walter Matthau. But I get what you are saying. You know what they are? Is they're the proto Chris Farley, David Spade.
They are, yeah. Yeah, so they could have been that generation's.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. So no, I think this movie is super underrated. It needs to be brought out every Thanksgiving.
Thanks to the show, I'm sure it will.
And I definitely think it's worth the ticket price.
I know you do. You're entitled to your incorrect opinions. Dell is a no good shyster and a douche.
And that's part that really kind of is that whole the selling of the earrings that bothers me.
This movie could have very easily just been the Neil Page gets a gun and kills everyone movie, and it probably would have been better.
Okay, well that's a little harsh, but okay.
Which would you say it's dark?
It is a little dark.
Oh, good, it matches the theme of the episode. Then happy Thanksgiving,
Happy Black
asshole.
Friday, everybody.
All right, so this is the part where we pull movies out of the hat. However, it's the Christmas season. So we have lined out.
People are going to hate us.
Oh, they just now hate us?
People are going to continue to hate us.
We have lined up 4 movies for the holiday season that are Christmas movies. They're Christmas movies.
They're Christmas movies.
You know, and we've talked a lot about, like, are we too many or of the same era? Blah, blah. You know, honestly, screw it. There's next year we can do better. I say screw it.
Okay, let's do it.
So next week, to kick off our holiday season, our first Christmas movie is Lethal Weapon. Mel Gibson, Danny Glover. The origination of our Roger Murtaugh I'm too old for this shit award.
So he's automatically going to get it.
And we haven't even done the movie yet.
Hell yes.
So no, hell no. Christmas movie, Lethal Weapon. We have 3 others in store, but we'll unveil those one at a time as we get to them.
Yeah, and you can't sit here and tell me that Lethal Weapon is not a Christmas movie.
Happens during Christmas.
And the beginning song is freaking Jingle Bell Rock. So
the end fight scene involves the metal pole that holds up a Christmas tree and a police baton.
So suck it, nerds.
There's a statement I had to make today.
So yes, it's a Christmas movie.
Gary Busey has a machine gun, and they're playing the Christmas Carol, and it kicks on, and he jumps, and he turns, and he shoots. He's like, "Yeah, young boy, do you know what day it is?"
Yes.
And then he shoots. It's fucking Christmas.
Goddamn Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Boom. Christmas movie.
Christmas movie.
To quote a mediocre man, "Suck it, nerds."
Wait a minute. Was that you, the mediocre man, or was it me? Because I just said it. But you say it all the time.
I know, but you had just said it.
Oh,
But it does work in either.
it does.
It works in either situation. But no, this time I was directly mocking you because you just said it. And it makes it all the funnier when you have to explain the joke. I'm pretty sure that's how comedy works. Is here I make a joke. You didn't laugh, so you obviously didn't get it. I will now go proceed to give a lengthy explanation as to why the joke exists and why it's funny. Boom! Humor 101. I'm sure they wrote about it in Rolling Stone magazine and compared it to Dante's Inferno like a complete
jackass.
well, I was about to say a C word, I believe, and I caught myself. I have not crossed that bridge, I'm pretty sure. But I almost did.
That was funny.
So,
Oh.
all right, everyone. I'm Jake. That's Tevis.
That
That fucking thing.
pile of flesh.
This turkey stuffed orifices is Tevis. Weird ticket price.
Happy Black Friday, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. You know, we had good intentions with this episode. It was genuinely going to be like a fun, uplifting, let's celebrate the holidays. And man, did we fall hard on our faces with this one.
About 20 seconds in, I think it
I
was.
think it was.
Yeah.
So, everyone, I think the lesson here is don't count on us to do anything right.
Nope, not at all.
All right. Well, Weird Ticket Price. That was Plane, Trains, and Automobiles. Tune in next week as we kick off the holiday season with Lethal Weapon. Good night.
Good night.